I sense a disturbance in the Glorse, the Glaze diving force. A certain Commissar Kai is taking his role as a propaganda commander a little too seriously, and he's engaging in over-glazing activities, mostly in reference to the M90A shotgun, but also things that apply to the core of Helldivers 2. Before we get started, M90A is a fun gun, and Kai, he's chill. I disagree heavily with his views on the game though, which is the point of this video. There's an unhealthy attempt to shy away the downsides of the weapon and make it seem as though it's more useful than it actually is, in some respects. He said the M90A shotgun is fantastic for automatons, with a little bit of thinking put in beforehand, and don't get me wrong, I could make it work, but let's be real, that is perchance hyperbolic, no? The shotgun, this buckshot, is fantastic against the ranged faction that can gun you down in an instant from Narnia. And I would maybe be more on board if it didn't suck against these scout striders. Because on lower difficulties, you get scout striders, and the main way of killing them, if you don't have a good shot on the actual driver, is going for the joint with light pen. That thing takes 3 shots point blank from the most powerful shotgun that isn't medium pen. And that's an issue with the way the game is set up, but no one really talks about it because it's a possibility. And he mentions that it's fantastic. It's great against Devastators. I forget the exact verbiage, but he said it's good against Devastators. That's true. He showed a clip of it taking 4 shots to kill it, and I've been there, brother. Adjudicator's a bad gun, shows clip missing every shot. We can both learn from this instance, I would say. It's not bad on automatons. I can make it work, it can be fun, but we gotta be more real here. And I would honestly say the best thing it's good at is killing berserkers, and even then they hunch over so much that you can't get a one-shot on their middle section. It's a little red area. So that's one thing to keep in mind. It's like there is still drawbacks even on the stuff it does very well for automatons in this case. One aspect it excels at is mowing down Billy Bobs with a blicky. Stick is coming soon. He says he thinks we shouldn't expect new warbonds to have better weapons than the baseline warbonds found in Helldivers Mobilize, which I could not disagree with more. The free warbond being a baseline is almost as bad as making the Liberator the baseline for ARs. It doesn't actually move the ball forward, and instead just gives us more of the exact same thing that isn't interesting. Because in most cases, we already have guns that are better than what you find in the free warbond in paid warbonds. Mizwar Kai talked about the penetration level and says it shouldn't be improved. There's no need. I'm not saying the M90A shotgun has to be medium pen, but if it's not going to be medium pen, there has to be some drastic changes made to the enemies. That way the guns can actually feel useful. What I mean is more useful. Because in Helldivers 2 at the moment, you do not have control over the enemies you face in the slightest. Not the ratios, not the seeds you fight. Technically, you have a slight control over the seeds, but that requires constellation knowledge, and even then, it's RNG. So if you get a seed that's gloom-based, gloom hunters, yeah? How come there's more Hive guards than gloom enemies? Enjoy the ODST Warbond, fellas. 3 light pin weapons. Hive guards are the certified fun sucker for this weapon. Medium armor on a chaff unit you get spam with makes the weapon a lot less useful. And don't bring up the armpit weak spot. Shoot him in the pit. He'll go down quick. No, he won't. That's a slap in the face. And I've already taken that, brother. Still stings, not gonna lie. That's not a good weak spot. It's not meaningful. Reason why, it's cute against maybe 2, 3 Hive guards. On level 5 difficulty, you can get 15. And don't get it twisted. They'll sit there guarding their posts, like a good old English soldier for the queen. But they'll 2-shot you in the blink of an eye. And maybe they don't move that fast, sure. They do stall you out. The longer it takes for you to kill them, the more time passes, and the sooner a bug breach can happen, which then stalls you out even longer, and time is one of the most important factors in the game and in life. Now, Alpha Commanders, the M90A shotgun is not good against them, and there's 2 reasons why. Number 1, they're actually betas. They run away from everything. Shotguns require close range to get max value, in this case at least, if you're shooting buckshot. They're running away. You have to chase them down like, sir, get back here, sir. I have a present for you. It's a buckshot. You have to chase them down. And then when you get close, they take more shots than a regular commander. In this case, it'd be 2 shots if you land mostly every pellet, versus 1 shot on commanders where the shotgun is actually superb, which is level 7 difficulty and below. Then you have the aspect where in a group, 3 men or higher, at the moment, Alpha Warriors are not being spawned 9 times out of 10. That means you're saving so much more ammunition with the M90A shotgun and using it for, let's say, hunters and whatnot. So I'm not here to say that the M90A shotgun is useless and there's no reason to ever bring it, because in fact, it is phenomenal on the Pred strain. That is where this shotgun shines, to the point where it's dang near it's probably up there with the GOATs on that faction, if you're not being spammed out by alpha commanders or hive guards, as I just was talking about how egregious they can be. It's also amazing for hunter seeds, if you aren't being spammed out by the aforementioned two enemies. If you're facing Bile Spewers, you can't shoot the face if you're on difficulty 6 or higher, because it then gets medium pin, but you can blow it up from the side in roughly 4 shots. That will kill multiple Bile Spewers if they're next to it. I still don't believe that's necessarily a good thing, since they have medium pin on their only viable weak spot, which would be a 1-tap if you were close enough, the same way it is for nursing spewers. In that regard, it feels a lot better. Granted, they can spew at you from range, dealing more than half your HP, and at that range you can't one-shot them. So that's not the most ideal thing in the world, but oh well. And then Illuminate. You are okay on Voteless, sure, but ammunition is a factor. You're getting swarmed by the hordes that just spawn out of nowhere, 30, 40 dudes deep, just running your pockets. The Overseers, brother, they have a blade of armor. You shoot, you strip the chest armor, expose the fleshy bits that take max damage. Fantastic. Shoot again. You then strip the blade of armor on the arm. Okay, cool. Not really. Now you shoot a third time, and the arm and chest that are both exposed absorb the damage because you're not applying it equally to one part, since you're shooting buckshot. Overseers can live through 3 shots. And that is ridiculous. That's just the ground Overseer. You then have the Crescent Overseer and the Flying Overseer, and it just gets worse in that order. And they all have range attacks. Meatbobs are a nightmare for the M90A shotgun. You don't do any meaningful damage. I don't know if it's because they're AV2 armor or not. I didn't look into the stats. I just know it takes a lot of bullets. The Rupture Strain that launched just after the ODST Warbond have medium pin for their faces, which would be the best pot to go for with the M90A shotgun. And yet, you can't do that. So we're getting more enemies that are medium pin, which further faces out light pin guns, since their weak spots, they're an afterthought. On the topic of lore, I have terrible news for anyone who enjoys fun in video games. The M90A shotgun does not have armor-piercing rounds or support armor-piercing ammunition, and instead uses an 8-gauge Magnum cartridge. That's what my extensive single Google search revealed. The M90A shotgun is better than most shotguns, which isn't saying a whole lot, unfortunately, in the same way that if you said Lid Penetrator or Adjudicator, whatever you think is the best assault rifle, is better than the others. Cool. We just got the Coyote, which is easily the best assault rifle in the game because it actually does something that is meaningful, that is unique, and that brings so much value to the table. Why can't we have something like that for the shotguns? We have Cookout and Instant Breaker. Those apply Fire Dot, and those are of the best shotguns for that reason. You give this one medium pin, or you make the enemies that don't have meaningful weak spots to light pin have said weak spots, and it just feels so much better. That's all you have to do, really. And this is going to apply to more than just these guns. That's the issue. So if we say the M90A shotgun's fantastic and players just using it wrong, guys, do these random niche things that aren't even that great in the grand scheme of things, and instead use everything else in your kit to kill the chaff enemies. What message are we actually sending to Arrowhead? Truly. Hey y'all, nope, the gun's good. We can go ahead and suffer in silence. Yeehaw! I don't think that's the play at all. And if we sit here expecting weapons to not be better than the base ones we get in the Warbond, in the free Warbond, we won't really be getting anything worth talking about. We'll just keep getting side grades to Liberators, side grades to whatever else that just aren't that fun. And that sucks. That's so hard to get excited for. Wow, I can't wait to use a different flavor of Liberator this month. Or a different flavor of Breaker this month. That's not it, man. Anyway, thanks for watching, and have a good day.